Add it up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pizza Talks. I'm Theano, your host, and I'm joined today with my lovely, lovely guest.
Hello, everybody.
This is Assia. So everybody say hi to Assia. So before we go into today's incredible topic, we have some weekly events, as always. So career days are officially here, and everybody should go. I want to see you there. But besides that, since it's a long-lasting event, we have the event about making music together, which sounds really interesting. The benefits of sports to the well-being of adolescents and young adults, which is great. And lastly, just a few events this week. An event to enable Gen Z. No, can't speak. An event to enable the next generation to transform the future, which sounds incredible. We are not the new generations in Alpha.
Yeah, we're old now.
We're old. Anyways, so into today's talking, we're talking about fandoms.
Not to be confused with phantoms, which are ghosts.
Phantom of the Opera. Phantom of the Opera is a fandom. There you go.
Technically, it's in the fandom of musicals, which I'm a part of.
There you go. There you go. See?
Yeah?
So technically, phantoms are a part of fandoms.
Yeah.
Connections. Anyways, let's get to talking, or pizza talking. So, what fandoms are you in except of musicals?
Well, the very first fandom that I kind of joined was the Marvel fandom. Basically because it was a very big fandom and it was everywhere. It was very widespread. You couldn't escape it, let's say.
You couldn't escape it. There is no escape.
There was no escape from Marvel. I remember the first movie that I watched was Age of Ultron. Not in cinemas. It was I was in Italy at the time, and we were gonna watch a movie with my sister, and she was like, "Let's watch the Avengers one because it's very popular and everybody's talking about it."
Dude, I the only person that watched this movie as a little kid, and I was terrified of Ultron. I was terrified.
You know what? When I first watched it, I didn't really get it. You know, because I was 10, I think. Like 11-ish.
I was just creeped out.
I mean, it wasn't the best introduction to the universe, but it wasn't an awful one, you know? It could have been worse.
I think my first Marvel movie was Captain America, The Winter Soldier, I think.
Yeah,
Or it was like the actual Avengers, maybe, in a rewatch with my parents, not in the cinemas, of course.
I remember one time I was at a party and they were all talking about staying late and watching Captain America, the first Avenger, the first movie. It was played on like Star or I don't know, like a channel or something, but we didn't end up doing it. But I watched it.
And it still plays on Star. It hasn't finished yet. It's the same movie.
I think like they have this thing on these channels where they replay some movies from fandoms. I remember they play Harry Potter during the summer. So each Saturday from like the start of July till like mid-August, I think they're doing that. I might be wrong, but like for 2 years, that's what they've been doing.
I haven't watched Star in years. The last movie I watched on the Star was Jesus from Nazareth because it was the only movie that there was available in my grandparents' house. I'm like, you know what?
That's a good instinct. I avoid it because of the commercial. Plus, everything's on Netflix now or like Disney Plus, pirate sites. Like. You can get your poison from...
Yes, but what is your favorite Marvel movie? This is the question.
Okay. Like, this is a very weird question for me because I have 2 favorite Marvel movies, so it depends on the favorite movie emotionally and the favorite movie, like, it's a very good movie from objective points.
Wait, I'll do you one better. You're about to die.
Okay.
And you need to pick one Marvel movie to watch before you die.
Okay.
Like you watch the movies, and like the second credits roll, like dead.
Okay, I'll probably say Endgame because that way, like
You
it's
can
not,
see them all together.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not the best one for me. The best one for me would probably be Avengers, the first one. But because I get to see all the characters and have this big emotional
Damage.
like basically yeah, but this big emotional farewell to each and every one, that's why I want to see it.
Okay, fair.
And like
I hear it.
the moment where they all exit the portals and they assemble, I remember when I first watched it, I let out a very weird noise, which was
Everything is silent in the movie. You hear it like in the back.
No, it was not at the theater. It was the second time I watched it at home. It was something between crying and laughing. So make of that what you will.
That scene was really fun for me because I watched Endgame with my mom. I was
Say.
Yes, we went to the movie theater and we watched it, and it was really interesting due to the fact that when everybody's coming out of the portals, we see like Chadwick Boseman, rip, may he rest in peace. Yes. And then we saw Spider-Man, and at the time, my favorite character was Spider-Man, and my mom's favorite character was Black Panther.
Yeah.
So she screamed first. I'm like, okay, and then Spider-Man gave an ice cream, and then we both screamed.
I remember when I watched Endgame in theaters. During the scene where Iron Man died, I couldn't like properly watch it because somebody's phone rang, and he answered it in speaker mode, and it was his grandma. So like it took away the momentum and the emotion of the scene because you would hear somebody, Yanni, who is it?
My momentum was taken away by my godmother's son that decided to spoil it to me.
Oh yeah.
It was an incredible experience because he went to see it in the premiere with his brother.
Okay.
And I was with them while they were getting ready, and I was like, please, for like the love of God, don't tell me anything. I don't want to know anything about it. We're gonna go to like the family trip we have, and the moment that I get back, I'm going to the movies. Like the day we go back, we're not gonna go home. We're gonna go to the movies. Please don't tell me anything. And he's like, okay, I'm not. And the moment he steps into the house, like Iron Man dies. I'm
like seriously, to all the people who do that, don't. Like seriously, don't. I will find you. I will find you.
Don't. Oh my god, but yeah, I don't know. My favorite Marvel movie has to. Okay, I am basic. I have to admit that I am basic, and I like Captain America and the Winter Soldier for like the fight scene.
It's a good movie. Why would you be like? It's not. I don't think it's basic. No.
It is kind of.
Is it?
Probably. I don't know.
Personally, I like it. I mean, I get why people like it. It's more.
I have Assia Sabrogin, I'm okay.
Yeah. It's more action-packed. So, like, and they have some pretty decent camera work and fight sequences. So I think.
And also Bucky's there.
Ah. It's actually one of the Marvel movies that my dad actually likes. He sat and watched it with me. Yeah, because like at some point we would try to do the family movie night thing, and when my mom picks a movie, it's an absolute disaster because it picks a rom-com and nobody watches this.
No, Centineo.
No. So when I pick a movie, I would play it safe, something action and maybe some humor so I could like please everybody. So we did Captain America Winter Soldier, and my dad was relatively focused. He wasn't playing on his iPad. So that's a good sign.
Great success.
Yeah, success indeed.
Did you see the last Black Panther movie, the second one?
I haven't. I
You
want
haven't?
to.
It's
I'm
so
actually,
good.
I'm
I
actually
like it.
waiting to go to your house to watch it.
Why my house?
Because you have Disney Plus.
I can give you my passwords.
Can you share?
Yeah.
Isn't it like Netflix now that they've decided not to?
Not really. I've shared my passwords with everybody.
We'll arrange it. I heard that it's.
Mom, if you see this, you don't. You didn't.
You know what? I've heard that it's because I wasn't expecting much because of the like we've discussed this again together, but like all the latest movies that have come out suck. Like they suck. They don't. I mean, they're not. They're not like. You don't want to gouge your eyes out, but
It's not
they're
the-
very messy.
Yeah, it's not the movie that I would say that I will go back to and say, oh, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see this movie.
Yeah, like it's kind of. I don't know if I'm going out of the Marvel phase, but like the recent ones I can't like.
Listen.
I don't get them.
Listen. The only thing that's keeping me from not
Quitting.
pulling my hair out whenever I see Marvel nowadays, I try to remind myself that it's like a stepping stone
Maybe.
for
yeah.
like to build the new like universe and like the new plots and stuff.
It could be. Yeah.
So they kind of suck. And also we have this nostalgia in the bag
Yeah, I mean,
with Iron Man and Captain America, and now we
Yeah.
get She-Hulk, and I'm like, okay.
I haven't seen She-Hulk, and
You
I
shouldn't.
don't
Don't
really
see
plan
it.
on doing it.
You don't have to.
You know what? Phase 4, it started promising with the series, like WandaVision, and
WandaVision was so good. I
I
liked
was
it so
actually
much.
pleasantly surprised by Falcon and the Winter Soldier because I wasn't expecting to feel any emotion. I was just
Yeah.
expecting like
It
punches
was
and
Agatha.
kicking.
Oh, lol.
It was nice though, and Loki. Obviously, I'm
Loki
waiting
was
for Loki season 2.
incredible.
Yeah.
Loki was amazing. I liked Captain America and the Winter Soldier, but I don't think it would be a series that I would rewatch
Yeah.
on casually. But it was
No,
like a
no,
really good
not
series
casually.
for like.
Pass the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moon Knight was incredible.
Yeah, it was
I
good.
loved this series so much, and everybody tells me that they don't like it,
I
and
mean,
I like it.
Okay, it's not one of my favorites, but it's a good series.
Yeah, I like it.
Like compared to She-Hulk, obviously. What else was there? I think with the movies it started to go downhill. Like Spider-Man No Way Home was good, but then
Listen,
what followed was
Listen, Spider-Man No Way Home was great. It was a good movie. I love that Garfield and
Tobey Maguire. yeah.
Maguire came back. I loved it. I loved the references. I loved everything. The thing is that I was seeing so many like trailers and so many rumors about like there are gonna be 3 Spider-Man and I'm gonna analyze this film and like
Yeah.
this and that I was kind of like not so impressed because I already knew what was gonna happen. I was like, okay.
You know what? This is about Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, I think. What I was really expecting from these movies was some sort of, and actually Doctor Strange semi-delivered. Was
I
some
liked it.
It wasn't bad. I was actually expecting some connection with the X-Men cinematic universe because
I mean, there was one, but like it was a.
it was very sloppy. It was very like,
It was like
Yeah.
it was sloppy.
and it was like minuscule. It wasn't. I was actually expecting to see like full-on X-Men on the screen.
I wish.
Like, and I actually want to bring attention to that because X-Men, not the newer ones, because they go downhill from some point, but the first 2 ones, 2000 and 2002, I think,
Mm-hmm.
with Hugh Jackman and all the old cast. These are really good movies. Okay, so they messed up afterwards. I admit that, but they're like legitimately. I think if you're a Marvel fan and you haven't seen them, you should. And Deadpool as well.
Yeah. Oh, Deadpool was great.
Deadpool.
Deadpool's amazing.
Deadpool was
I love it.
awesome. I remember I was so obsessed at one point.
I was also traumatized by Deadpool because I watched it in a really young age and I saw
Yeah,
his
me
whole
too.
hand like being taken off and I'm like, okay, this is gonna definitely not like cause me nightmares.
Yeah,
for the
it
rest of my
wasn't
life.
that exactly. I watched it with a friend at my house, and my mom had come downstairs, and it was like Deadpool. It's X-rated not only because of the violence. It's also X-rated because of the inappropriate erotic scenes.
The inappropriate erotic scenes.
Like,
If you thought we were gonna have Ryan Reynolds with and like no erotica in there, you are mistaken. You've been
But
mistaken.
anyway, my mom came down and was like, what are you
What are you
watching?
they always come down like the parents
the
always
worst time.
the worst timing. You
Worst
can
time
watch the
possible.
most PG-13 movie of all time, and like
I don't know, dude. Like,
I don't know.
my mom does that. My dad, he's chill about it, and sometimes he even joins, but not with those kinds of movies.
Fair enough.
I remember he joined me. I was watching Star Wars at one point, and he came and sat down. He was like, "What are you watching?" And he had seen only the original trilogy, and I was watching the prequels. So he sat down. I started explaining stuff to him. He kind of got invested, and I had just started the movie.
Yeah.
He stuck around for the 2 hours.
Dude, my mom does that. You're gonna watch something on like on your laptop or like on TV or something. You're gonna watch a show or a movie, and she will get invested, and you
Yeah.
will finish that show or that one movie, and she will continue watching it by herself. I think for some reason at some point I was like, okay, I don't have anything to do. I'm gonna watch. I think it was like Attack of the Clones or something.
Oh,
Or Return of the Jedi.
That was the movie that my dad did.
Yeah, and like I sat there and I watched it, and my mom sat like through half of the movie,
Yeah.
and then 2 days after she was still watching Star Wars.
Like, actually,
and I was like, "Are you still watching Star Wars?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay." And I just sat there.
We
with her.
had gone to walk the dogs, and I was wearing a Vader T-shirt, and he was like, "Oh, can you explain to me one more time how the good kid from
The good-
the Phantom Menace, the short one,
The good
became Darth Vader?" And like, it's like, oh, where to begin? And the problem is that you have to.
the good kid.
There's so much information, so much things to say, and there are so many names. And how are you supposed to explain to somebody like something like that with so many names? He won't remember. So I was saying,
The guy
Darth
with the
Maul,
beard.
Kenobi, and it's like, who are these people? Like,
you need to
yeah.
when you explain things to dads. I think you just need to like describe them facially.
Physically.
Like the one with
I
the beard,
tried.
the one that. Everybody remembers that.
Like-
All the dads remember Darth Vader, or not only Darth Vader, and then you're like the one with the pointy red things on his head.
You know what? Because he had watched the original trilogy, I could like make some connections because he obviously knew Darth Vader. He also knew
Jar
Se-
Binks.
no, that's not in the original trilogy. Thank God. He knew the robot.
I know,
obviously.
but like
He also knew Sidious, so Darth Sidious. So whenever I would talk about Palpatine, I would say, okay, he turns out to be the bad guy in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He's the one with the cloak and the shriveled face and the lightning hands, jazz lightning
it's
hands.
like Harry Potter, but like make it more dramatic.
Make it more wandless and like.
More wandless. Now that we're talking about, like, now that we mentioned, what was your Hogwarts house? Were you a Ravenclaw?
No, I could have been, but
Slytherin.
yeah,
You're a Slytherin.
it doesn't. I don't look like one from what I've been told.
No, you really don't. You little snake.
Okay, like.
Okay.
Let me clear something up. We're not okay. Basically, we're not necessarily bad guys. It doesn't.
You're not bad guys.
Yeah, like
Slughorn was a Slytherin.
exactly, and like Peter Pettigrew, who was an awful slimy
He was a
bad guy.
Gryffindor.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So please.
See, a Slytherin and Gryffindor can be friends.
Exactly, and obviously. Wrong camera. Obviously, the only house that hasn't produced any bad guys is Hufflepuff House.
Because it's Hufflepuff.
I mean, obviously.
Because it's Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hufflepuff dormitory is next to the kitchen, so they do have something going on for them.
And
Also, we love our Hufflepuffs. Your guys are great.
yeah.
We love you. You're our
do.
little teddy bears.
From what I've heard in the fandom, at least, like the best pair of friends is a Slytherin and a Hufflepuff. I don't know if that's true. It might be true.
I think so. Or like, yeah, I've heard that before. Like Slytherin, Hufflepuff.
I've heard it. I personally, it could be true for me, but I'm not like I have some friends that could be Hufflepuffs, but I just need to get them to do the test to
Yeah.
confirm it. It's yeah.
What is your Patronus?
My
Oh, you
Patronus is a wolf.
You have a wolf?
Yeah.
I have something similar. I have a cat, but like, I always remember.
Lynx.
The lynx, yes.
Oh my god.
I always think winks, and I'm like, no, that's a series with fairies.
That's
That's not a cat.
That's not. Oh my god.
If not friend, then why friend shaped?
I actually remember something. This Christmas, actually, it was a day after Christmas. My mom had invited a bunch of her friends over to our house, and my sister had gone with her godmother at the time out, and like, I was the only. Okay, I was an adult by then, but I was just barely legal, and I couldn't do anything else. So my mom was like, okay, you should come down with us and be with these people. I knew some of them, and like I was trying to find some common ground with some of them, and my mom approached a friend of hers who works in the government. Like, he's a serious political person, whatever. And he was like,
Minister of Magic.
No. Like, he was like, Assia also likes Harry Potter. Discuss. But like, we did talk about it, and he didn't know that the test existed. So I told him that, okay, I'm a Slytherin, I've done the official test, and he was like, wait, there's an official test? Like, yeah, you can do that. It's like, okay, show me to do it now. And I started showing him, and meanwhile another guy joined us, and he was doing the same thing, and like, they did the test. And like, everybody was watching them, and they were like, what are you guys doing? I was like, shh, we're doing serious stuff right now. Harry Potter test, everybody
serious
shut
business.
up.
Okay, but like, can we talk? Okay, I'm not gonna stay in this topic for too long, but like, I was really disappointed with J.K. Rowling.
Okay,
I'm really disappointed.
It was a kick in the gut for like
a lot of Harry Potter fans, because like, I was in my Harry Potter phase. Like, I was living for it, but like, and then I heard this, I'm like, okay.
You know what? I think it's bad, especially for people who have grown up with these books and have related to them, and they are dealing with these issues. Like, they're starting to discover the sexuality, they want to come out, or
exactly.
they understand that they want to like
Transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I've been thinking, like, a lot, and that's why in my head I split the two. I split J.K. Rowling with the Harry Potter universe, because like, the Harry Potter universe is something that I really love. It's the first fandom that I ever joined. Like, I have all the books, both Greek and English, in multiple editions. I have like wands in my house, but then like,
I've seen them.
yeah, they're great. But yeah, there's J.K. Rowling, who I totally don't support. But like,
At this point, it's like it's stabbing me in the back that you've admired this person and her work, and then suddenly she's coming out and saying, "Oh, I don't like your kind of people."
your kind.
Like,
I don't like you either.
like a full-on pure blood wizard discrimination against.
Yeah, exactly.
To put it in
Where are you going?
terms.
Calling him blood or something.
Yeah, like, no. But like, I think it's good what you're doing to separate
The two, yeah.
Because personally, I never cared for her as a writer. It didn't. Okay, look, okay.
I mean, you know what? Good for you.
I like the books. It's not that like.
Yeah, I do.
If she had done something else, if she had followed up the Harry Potter books with another series of success, I would have been
Look, she followed up with another series. They're not really successful.
Yeah, but that's not books though. I'm not talking about.
Yeah, but the Fantastic Beasts I think have books. Or I think only the third one was created just for script. But don't quote me on that. I think I may be mistaken.
No, from what I understand, because I've seen it, it's not I've seen the films, but I think that there is an actual Fantastic Beasts and
Word final.
book, but it's not. It's
book.
not a script. It's basically the course book that the Hogwarts students would take.
That is so cool. My sister, okay, the best gift I've ever received in my life to this day is from my sister when she went to New York and she came back with a hardcover copy of the script of the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
it's with like it had like the little what's his name? I forgot. Ah.
autograph of the
No. It's like the little guy that goes and steals the gold. I forgot his name.
Niffler.
The Niffler. Thank you. Jesus. Ah. Yeah, but,
Expert over here.
It has like a little Niffler on the front of like the book that is like in gold. And it's like so cute.
Those are cute.
Yeah.
Like they made them look super good in the movie.
Fantastic Beasts were okay. So I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion. Maybe it is. I don't care. I like the first one.
The first one was nice.
The first one was
And
adorable.
then again, it started going downhill. That's what happens every single time.
The only reason that the reason that I love the first one is because of the beasts.
Okay,
They're adorable.
I don't like that from the first movie was nice because it was something different. It explored some other aspect of the wizarding world, but I didn't want it to necessarily connect with the main story because once it did with the next two movies, it started changing some stuff. Like some things were inconsistent. I've seen this a lot recently. Dumbledore's age.
Okay, so sorry. When did Dumbledore decide that he will go from the sexy suits to the cardigan Wizard of Oz? When did that change?
It's not even Wizard of Oz because it would have the hat. It was more like hippie, like a guy who would sell a watch.
When did Dumbledore decide to say to himself that, you know what, the sexy mexy teacher does not work for me anymore. I'm gonna go full hipster mode and I'm gonna wear I don't know. Like I actually have questions about that, but we all. The one thing that I love about Fantastic Beasts is that we know for sure that Dumbledore was a little fruity.
It confirmed it basically.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Grindelwald was the best choice, but you know what?
The toxic relationships can exist.
Yeah,
in all fandoms. It happens.
It happens. But yeah, I don't know. I really like. I watched like a video essay for Harry Potter about what if Harry was put in Slytherin instead of like Gryffindor, and it was like 9 hours long, but it was like so cool. And I really like that version more than the original.
Really?
Yeah, because it wasn't the best, but like some plot points I really liked. The fact that the DA was being practiced in the Chamber of Secrets.
Okay, that would have been practical. Yeah,
rather than like the remote requirements, because like only Harry can access that. Only Harry can open it. Like,
so it would have been even more secret.
Exactly, and it was a really fun adaptation because my favorite part was because they were practicing in the Chamber of Secrets, and because Harry was not in Gryffindor, he was in Slytherin.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't slay the basilisk. So the basilisk was still alive, but he was an ally to Harry because Harry can spell parcel tongue.
That was smart.
And he had a giant basilisk as like kind of his pet or ally, and it was so cool because like
that would have been useful.
That would be so cool. Imagine in the middle of like a
of the battle,
like a freaking basilisk like.
Suck it, Goldie.
Nagini watching it like
that's too much for me to handle, guys. I'm gonna take off now.
That's a big snake. That's a big snake.
You know what? The last thing I want to say about Harry Potter, and that's a big thing, relatively. I'm not very pleased about the some, not all, book to movie adaptations. Like some were executed very well. Like the first two. Some things could have been kept in, but I get that they were cut for time, and the first two were mostly aimed at children.
And I think the first two was like also budget because it was like a new movie, so like they wouldn't know if it's gonna.
Actually, I heard that the first two movies were directed by the same guy, Christopher Columbus. He also directed Home Alone.
Yeah.
I remember in an interview he was saying that in the first movie he didn't like the CGI effects for the ghosts, so in the second movie they tried to remedy that.
I like Nearly Headless Nick.
And I actually get it because the first two movies were coming out at the same time as some other big franchise at the time. Like they had Lord of the Rings, which at that point was massive.
Yeah.
I
have an app that shows you the path for like the path that they took in like Lord of the Rings, so they can count your steps for and how long in your journey you are.
have to more. Okay.
Yeah, cool. And it's so cool.
And at the same time, they also had the Star Wars prequel trilogy, because in 2002 it was Lord of the Rings, the second one, Attack of the Clones, and Chamber of Secrets. So it was a lot of competition for the box office. Yeah. I have no idea.
The 2000s was a great year for us.
It was a good year for many movies. Like a lot of my favorite movies were around the early 2000s. But that's a discussion for another.
Yeah, that's a discussion.
Like obviously, if you want to talk about movies, I'm your gal.
Yeah, we will need more than 30 minutes.
Yeah, we will need. I think I can talk about movies for like a whole day. Like with enough coffee and
or wine.
I don't know. This is gonna be a whole different kind of podcast.
We need to bring pizza.
But anyway, like my problem with the adaptations was in the fourth Harry Potter movie, Goblet of Fire, and the sixth Half-Blood Prince, because in the Goblet of Fire, it's actually my favorite book. They didn't keep some of the most important stuff. Like, they didn't explain the whole thing with Barty Crouch Jr., how he got out of Azkaban. They just showed us Doctor Who at the end of the movie, and we're like, okay, we're supposed to know who that is, I guess. They also didn't cover the part about how Rita Skeeter was getting into Hogwarts and stealing information.
Yeah.
They never said anything about that.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember a character called Ludo Bagman? Do you remember him? Like, he was another guy that worked at the ministry with
yeah.
And he owed money to people, but it was important because he was also suspicious, because he was trying to help Harry during the tournament, and they suspected him that he was the one that, and he was also arrested because during the first era of Voldemort, he secretly passed on information, but he didn't know he was doing it.
Yeah, fair.
Or something.
Well, in summary, basically, Harry Potter universe, good.
Yeah.
Some movies,
So, yeah.
Okay. It's okay.
I mean, they are big books, so people have to decide what to keep and what to not.
Yeah.
And obviously, if they don't understand the source material, they can make mistakes. It can happen.
Anyways, sadly, our time is over. Thank you for joining me. I hope you guys had fun. So we're gonna see you next Monday at 8, as always. Again, thank you for joining me.
It was my pleasure. I really like to.
And now I'm gonna go rewatch all of the Star Wars movies again.
Me too.